Ra! It's I. Me. Hello. We are currently listening to City Pop Playlist, Retro City Pop / Synth Pop Instrumental, City Pop, City Life, Fusion Jazz, by YouTube user City Pop Girl. Link as always will be in the description of the VOD. Here's the deal. I did tell you guys that I was going to watch a video off stream and come back to y'all. And I did start watching it. I got about 25% through it. And then I was like, damn, I'm having a lot of insights. And instead of me trying to teach this to you secondhand, it probably would be better to watch it together. But we pause every now and then. We speak about certain things to interspice it and say that we're not just freebooting this content, right? We want to use it as a piece of research and not as a piece of stealing content, media, lessons, research, etc. And so, before we get into all that, there are a few things I want to get into. Because I have a lot of tabs. I have a lot of tabs pulled up. And so I want to quickly go over some things that might be important. Because let's switch to. Oh, there it is. Okay, hello. So, what was it? Epic the music. Okay, so I want to show you some paintings. This one is Kano Motonobu, the artist, and it is called The Four Accomplishments, and it is about. Well, you can read it on the side, but it is about what was deemed as, of high society. The four pursuits deemed appropriate for Chinese gentlemen: music, board game, the board game named Go, and calligraphy and painting. And so you can see here, amidst all this cool artwork. Okay, never mind. Don't load. God. You can see people playing the board game Go. You can see people doing. I believe this is calligraphy. I want to say calligraphy, because over here they're playing instruments. Right here. So then here would be travelers. Okay, so this is a Japanese painting based on Chinese traditions, Chinese values, pardon. And this is because, as I said before, China very much did affect Japan, and you can see this very clearly what I'm going to mention. And the fact that it's all black and white. Now, there is color here with the reds and the yellows, but look at this. They're so faded. Would you say this is a black and white painting, yes or no? And that is because, not to bring up yin yang in a way that's it's not unrelated, but it is important to mention that yin yang is a Taoist ideology, but it did seep into Japan, much like a lot of things did from China. And so, let me see, how do I properly convey this? What's the best way? All right, so in, let's say, the 10th century, late 10th, early 11th, into the late 10th through the 10th up until early 11th, right? There was something called the Song Dynasty. This is the Song Dynasty. So Song Dynasty artwork was emblematic of. There were two sections of the song. There was the Northern Song Dynasty and the Southern Song Dynasty. And so let me just read this from my notes real quick. Invading Jurchen and other nomads caused the split of the Song into Northern and Southern dynasties, as the Song capital was moved from the overrun capital of Kaifeng to Hongqiao. Hongqiao. This period of invasions would culminate in the Mongol invasion of the 13th century, which led to the Yuan dynasty, a period in which Mongols settled into rulership and espoused Chinese traditions. While the North and Song pottery traditions are relatively contiguous, North and South Song pottery are relatively contiguous, paint traditions were radically different. And so we got into this artwork that led into something called Taoist emptiness, which was the use of negative space in artwork. A good example of this would be So I have my notebook in front of my keyboard, so I can't read this. Travelers among mountains and streams. What's a good... This is it. This is it. This is it. So you can see here, emptiness, to show that it's fading off into fog. They did not paint the fog. They painted all of the blackwork with calligraphy, and then left all of the space blank, and so it's the utilization of the empty space of the page in order to make the painting work. To quote, it's a practical application of emptiness as a complementary part of existence. It's inherent in Taoism. Without emptiness, things lose function. Emptiness is put to use in Fang Guan's composition, not only in the arrangement of forms versus space, but in the collaboration of painted objects, the trees and the rocks and the mountain, and the unpainted things, the water, the mist. You can see here the waterfall right here. The fog. So this is also related to Buddhist emptiness, which is... Well, not related. Taoist emptiness was about this. Buddhist emptiness was about, a philosophical, it was encompassing all of phenomena alluded like meditation and the Zen Buddhism that we would see here. And so, I meant to say we would see here. There we go. Except this is a Horyuji that we're seeing right here, which is the one that we based our build off of, which I did learn something recently. If you'll note, this building is, this is a 30-meter pillar. Horyuji is 32 it's, number one, it actually is the oldest extant wooden structure, as we're going to see in the video. I thought it was just one of the oldest. I wasn't going to say anything for certain. We can now confirm for a fact it is the oldest wooden structure that we know of that is still standing. Whether or not it's the oldest one that's not standing, I don't know. But see, this is apparently supposed to be 32.5, which would be 2.5 blocks taller than this is. So let me... display that. I would just put 2 extra blocks. So this is 30 meters. This is 32.5. And now this is taller. And I do want to say, I think the 30 or the 32.5 might encompass everything sans spire. Because you have to think about it in this way, that when you use a human being as a scale, they often use one who is 6 feet tall exactly, or 1.98 meters. We can just round it to 2 for convenience's sake. So if I am 2 blocks tall, this should also be... Actually, this is 1.98, so it doesn't matter either way. Actually, no, that is not 1.98. That is shorter than 1.98. But it's again, we're rounding, we're ballparking, estimating. It's close enough for what we need. So let's say I'm going to stand right next to this staircase. This is going to be prudent in a second. If I show the video again, there's a human being standing at the bottom of these stairs. Now I'm going to expand this to fit the screen. And you're going to have a bit of this top cut off, but you're going to have to live with that. I'm sorry, guys. Right here is a human being. And if you line up this level of the pedestal, the top of the staircase, with the torso right here. Let's say this person is 5'10", right? For our sake. Maybe 5'8", 4 inches shorter than 6 foot. If we use them as a scale and say that this thing is roughly 6 feet tall, the pedestal itself. And let me get a better shot of the pedestal as well. I know there is one. I saw it. You can't fool me. That's not Horyuji. Sorry, let me just skim through. There is a shot from the bottom floor of the pedestal. This is Kofukuchi. I don't want this. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's say this bottom part is 6 feet, right? Just for our sake. So if that is to be measured up to 6 foot, and we put this in scale with the whole building, that is not Horyuji. Yeah, the whole building, and we multiply that, we go, what, 6 foot, 2 meters. Then this here would be 2.5 meters, right? This roof from here to here is like double of these. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. And then we add in all the halves. This one would actually be double, so we're going to make that one 28. I think we add in all the halves. This would add up to 32.5. Sandspire. So the spire would add on top of that. And so if we go back to the build that we made, we actually made ours off scale, which again, we said we were just basing it off of the shape. We weren't basing it off accuracy. But this 30-meter one comes in handy because the temple before this, not the temple, sorry, the pagoda before this is at, I've forgotten the name of it, Ikegami there it is, Honmonji. This pagoda, this 5-story pagoda, which doesn't have the extra thing at the bottom, this is a very cool gate that there's another structure I want to add to the frozen lake we're going to make. This is a 2-story pagoda, very cool intricate details. I want to do a lot of stuff with glazed terracotta here. If you look at the 5-story pagoda right here, this is exactly, we are told in this video, it is 30 meters tall. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it. Right here. Which again, we're going to add some pine trees maybe to our frozen lake. I wanted to do some trees based off the artwork, which is why I have these pulled up. So bamboo, this pottery. This is a tea room. No, it's not a tea room. I noticed the floor. It's a study. It's a reading room. Not quite. Zen monastery. Yeah, it's a place where the Buddhist monks would gather. So I'm getting caught up in the paintings and the artwork again. Stuff like this. It's very cool. Muramachi landscape. The first. You see the Tao's boot. Oh, I'm not even showing it on screen. I'm so sorry. You can see the Tao's emptiness thing. Like, it's gorgeous. The lack of the paint mixed with the actual use of the calligraphy. Ah! Beautiful. Sorry. But yeah, if you see all these artworks, I wanted to base my trees off of these, specifically with these cool bends. The herons. I might actually do some man-made herons. I might build some animals. But these trees, these are very bendy, windy, they curve around, they take up space in interesting ways, leaving gaps in between. This is the very important, like, look at this, how empty this is, but there's a little something there. And again, I told you my favorite one of Japan of doing this was Asagawa Tohaku pine trees. Not a great way to zoom into the image. And then let me get the other half. What the hell happened here? Yeah, I can't find the full image. We'll take it. We'll take it. No, this is the same half. Where's the other half? I'm gonna go insane. Because there's a left-hand screen and there's a right-hand screen. And so this is half of it. Is this... Okay, this is the other half. Not the greatest... I can't zoom in on it. I just want to zoom in on the image. This one has a huge watermark on it, and I can't even zoom in on it. I just need a large scale version of this half of the painting. Please. This is the left hand, this is the right hand. Yes, we understand. Ah! No! Why would you... They fooled me. There we go. That's a nice big image. Thank you. These are my favorite examples of this emptiness in a painting. God. This is Muramachi. Momoyama comes afterward with all these cool stuff like this. These are also still printed on painted doors. They're very nice. A lot of color. Muramachi used the emptiness a bit more. God. Anyway, this is 30 meters tall. And so if we assume that the other pagoda is, when they say it's 32.5, and we assume that our measurements, our estimates are correct, the spire is not included. So we want to build a pagoda that is 30 meters tall, like this height, with a spire on top. And to estimate if this is 30 meters, let me get a nicer image of Honmonji pagoda so I can show the scale of it. Here it is. Does it have a pedestal? It does. So if we're assuming from the bottom of the pedestal to here, a pedestal is once again maybe like this floor before it touches the roof would be 2.5, like 0.5 larger than this. If this is 2, this would be 2.5, right? So 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So we do 2.5 times 5, which would actually be 5 times 2.5. Oh my god, I'm stupid. 5 times 2 is 10. Half of that is half of 5 is 2.5, which would be 12.5 blocks. And then each roof would estimate to be about 2. So it would be 10 plus 12.5 would be 22.5, which means we're missing 7.5, which we can get to. That would be 5.5, which leaves us with 5.5. Oh, so the little point on top can be 0.5, which would leave us with 5. So each one of the roofs would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, you think? And then each of this would be 12.5. And then be 15.5 for a little bit on top. Well, it's actually a block and a half because this roof is taller than the other ones, you think? So 2, 4, 6, 8 plus 3.5 would be 11.5, plus 2 would be 13.5. Then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 plus 0.5 would be 21.5. Okay, so the math still doesn't work out. We have to find a way to evenly divide this. But ratio-wise, if this is 30, the spire would take up... Okay, the spire is the same height from here to here as it is from here to here. So if we imagine the pedestal down here is maybe the same height as the hedge visually, like, because this is the floor, so the pedestal would start about here. So it would end about the hedge because we can't see it at all. This is a full 3. Because if the pedestal is about this tall and we put it next to this, it would line up maybe about here. So we could say the inside is 3 blocks tall. The roof starts intersecting with it though, so which is why I was saying 2.5 before the roof gets involved. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12.5. Then each roof could be a block and a half. So it would be 5 plus 2.5, which would be 7.5. 7.5 plus 12.5. 12 plus 7 is 19. It would be equal to 20. Plus the pedestal would be 22. The extra roof height is no longer as a block. A block and a half would be 2 blocks. 2 blocks and a half would be 2.5. So we're at 20 right now. And add an additional 1.5. It's 21.5. Yeah, okay, so instead we're just going to evenly divide this. So 30, 5 stories, but one of the stories is a little taller. So let's say 30 divided by 5 is 6, right? If you make the rest of them 5.5, that leaves us with a deficit of 20, 20 plus 0.5, 20 plus 1 would be 21. That's too much of a deficit. But we can only work in halves because of how Minecraft functions. So we're going to have to like fudge the numbers a bit. We could just make the top one 3 blocks tall, maybe. Basically, I'm sorry, this is the temple that I want to base because it's the oldest one in the Kanto region. Not the oldest wooden structure in the world, but it is the oldest one in the Kanto region. So I want to use it as a reference of shape and height. So if it is 30 meters tall, 5 floors. Each one should be 6. But, oh, we can put some of the deficit in the pedestal. There we go. So, okay, let's say we have 30. We divide it into fifths, would be 6. And then we make each of them 5.5. 5.5 times 5. Sorry, I'm redoing the math again over and over. But it is important for me, specifically. So 5.5 times 5 would actually be 27.5, wouldn't it? Because 5 times 5 would be 25. I don't know how I messed up the numbers. I think I subtracted instead of added. But that's fine. So that leaves us with 3.5 extra things to work with. So we can add in, we get rid of 2 of those for the pedestal, which leaves us 29.5. And you can put the extra 0.5 on the roof. So if we're to go back to Minecraft, let me get my notebook out of the way. So let's say we get 2 tough blocks here for the pedestal, which will be the same height as our staircase here. We're going to have these be along the side again, but it's not going to impact anything, right? Then we have to dedicate 5.5 blocks to each floor. So let's get some mangrove. We're not going to use red because, again, we want to change how things look. We're not going to build them identically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. And this is where the roof is going to end. So let's get like just that replicates, because then the roof will be here because you said 2.5. Is that too tall of a roof? I think it might be. I think we're gonna give it some the actual 3 blocks. Does that look proportional? Or because we're going to extend it outward like this. Is that proportional? It might be. I think actually, because we're gonna have these things extend the hell out, right? So yeah, then it does go 2.5, and we still get a 3 block. Okay, yeah, this is good. So this is the kind of shape we're going for, and then the issue becomes the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This becomes the 5.5, and this becomes the top of our roof. And we can't use staircases because then it'll offset what we want. This is 3 blocks out from the original building, which is kind of the scale we want. Like, if we could do any more, then it's inaccurate to the way that pagodas are shaped. We want to walk away like 2 blocks before we get out to like here. No, this We want 3 blocks. Oh, sorry. We didn't extend it all the way this way, so that might be skewing our idea. Because the pedestal on Horiyuji, not Horiyuji, sorry, Honmoji extends a bit further. Or does it? No, it ends here. I could get a better image of the pagoda. That'd be wonderful. No, it does extend past it. I was right the first time. It's like a half a block wider, which we don't have the option to do. See, these start scaling up. They get narrower. The further you go up. Ooh, cherry blossom trees. Nice. I'm probably going to do a stick of going in one block, and this one can be another block in. So this has to be at the same area. Okay, so we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. That doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it's the right shape, especially because we want it to curve up. Because like what we did here is you see 1, 2, 3, and then we curved it up at the ends. See, that helps, but actually we probably want to here. Like that. Like, that's the right shape. Now, the question is the roof extended enough from the building? Because another measurement we have to... Oh, sorry, I've not been showing this. So this is what we're looking at. We're trying to make the roofs curve upward like a pagoda does. Now, this whole thing right here is a little flat because... right here, we can see on Ikegami Honmoji, there's the little gates. Now, we did try to replicate this like this here. The first floor doesn't have it. These floors, I would reckon, are shorter than the first one. They're about to show a cross section. Yeah, see, there's a big pillar that goes straight through a pagoda, and you notice that below this is still that roof. So it starts. You can see here the pillar at the bottom. As they transition, the pillar that goes through stops. Does it? Hold on. Because I know the other building, it didn't have it on the first floor, but it did have it on the other floors in the other video that we watched. But this one does have to go straight down through this middle one, and through the bottom one. Now the pillar also narrows as it gets closer to the top and actually connects to the spire. And now this is a wide pillar. There's not a lot of space around it. At least in this model. The intricate work here. We don't have the gates like on Honmonji. This is very impressive. Like the architecture, the ability to make these things even taller, it progressed over the years. But this is the interior. You walk in. There's the central pillar. But look at this. There's a lot of space on the sides. These 4 central pillars. Because I would like to build something like Honmonji to give respect to how like old it is and like how sick it is that a 30-meter tall structure is still standing despite being from the Kanto period. But like, I might want to build something in such a grander scale. Look, like this monk entering the pagoda. You can see the 4 pillars, the big central pillar. These ones support the first floor, but this one supports the whole building. And has all these Buddhist statues around, Buddhist lotus imagery. Look at this. Look how wide the space is. Extending from that. And so let's say we were to have something like that. Oh, by the way, I have been messing around with the idea of the trees. I didn't like this one at first. It's grown on me. I do like the bushes. I think this is the right vibe. Yeah, I didn't like these. But I think they're good now. I still like the bamboo. I tried to mess with some like thicker bamboo. I think maybe it's just not tall enough. I think it's just not a good shade. It doesn't match the actual bamboo. And the leaves are too busy. I'll have to experiment with some more. But I don't like it right now. Okay, but I'm gonna go look at the big central pillar myself. No, that is just a normal block wide. It's about 3 meters wide. So we have that. And then areas for artwork at the bottom. And then similarly wide pillars all around this. I can use gilded blackstone as a building block. That'd be nice. I wish you could craft it, but you have to go to Pigment Bastions and mine it yourself. So that would be our central area, and then we would go like 3 blocks out from each. And now I do want to see, how tall... That is fully half his height. Maybe even taller. Like, let's say this is the floor, right? And we extend it 3 blocks from each pillar. Now keep in mind that pagodas, the roofs are very, very extended from where the actual structure that you can be inside of is. And so if we were to have this be our main structure this wide, oh, sorry, not even there, it would be here. If this were to be our exterior walls, so we could house this size of a structure inside. It's actually all raised up. I forgot about resin. We have that now. Yeah, I'm looking at the temple. He's up on the pedestal already. Oh no, hold on. That's interesting. Okay, you know what? Okay, okay. Let me stop the music. We're gonna watch this together. And again, we're gonna pause every now and then, speak about what we're watching. We're not gonna let it just play. But this is from a program ages ago called Begin Japanology. This is, I guess, an unofficial archive. Yeah. Do they have anything else? These have a lot of culture stuff. But I don't know if it has anything about... Ooh, Shinto Shrine. That's artwork stuff. Festivals is artwork stuff. Those masks. The masks are so cool. Rock and Stone, we got Buddhism stuff. Folk houses, tea ceremony. That's important. That's important. Chopsticks is kind of funny. Just, but I actually kind of want to know what insight they have into chopsticks. That is a 30-minute video. Hina dolls, Yusuf Kimono. This is just the kimonos? Kendo. Oh, that'd be cool to watch. Okay. Matcha. 30 minutes on matcha. Okay, matcha's actually pretty important. Okay, I understand. Um. Oh, this is origami. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm being sucked in, and I shouldn't, because not their first video. Oh, that's the first one we have. And oh no, man, guys. I don't want to come across as the guy who's like, oh my god, Japan is so cool. Oh my god, guys. I am appreciative of the artwork. I think they made such great strides in artwork. Their architecture astounds me. My favorite artwork is not from Japan. My favorite architecture is from Japan. There is some period in not Baroque, prior to that, like Gothic, where they started making these cathedrals, these churches that were really cool. I don't think it was Gothic. I think it might have been pre-Gothic. Let me go through my notes. Because I started typing up my notes near the end of last semester instead of writing it down because I got tired. But I was really busy and I couldn't write it down because my hands would be. Look, point is, it doesn't matter. Art history 101. Notes. Romanesque. Romanesque. Now, which cathedral did I really, really like? Because I don't have any images. Was it Romanesque? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this video on. I'm gonna go private tab. While this video is playing, I can pause it when I need to mention something. I'm gonna search up a bunch of churches. And then let you know what one of my favorite buildings are.
A stately 5-story pagoda reaching up to the sky. This traditional architectural style, built entirely from wood, dates back to the earliest years of Buddhism in Japan, almost 1,500 years ago. Found in many parts of the country, the tiered roofs rising in perfect proportion create silhouettes of outstanding elegance and beauty.
Yes, they do, sir!
Thanks to their remarkable structural strength.
I found it. uh... So let me quickly pull up a tab. Okay, so number one, these are not my favorite churches, but I do want to mention something very cool about the Basilica of Saint Sernin and also Saint Foy Church. So these are both in France, and they have this really cool thing because the way that churches are formed, they are built like a cross. These two are from Romanesque. The one that is actually my favorite is from early medieval, Northern European artwork, and we'll get to that in a second. But they're built like a cross. So you can see the wings of the cross. This is the length of the body that would get stuck into the ground, and then the top part is this pillar right here. It would lead. No, the pillar goes in the central area, and then it leads into this section at the top, which would be where Christ's head would be. So it's a cross shape, and then it's this huge building. And so this is the main entrance, and they would have side entrances as well due to how large it is. That would also go here, which will be important in a second. But they also have these cool, really ornate places where the priest or the sermon would be given. This is the stage, and you can see it here, all the way in the back. They also have this big statue of Jesus, maybe even a triptych. I love these parts right here. Now, it's not actually on my favorite church. This part isn't here on my favorite church, but I think it's such a sick artwork. But it's also one of those things where it's like, oh, this is Saint Foy, by the way. It has the same thing. It's older. The Basilica of hold on. Basilica of Saint Sernin. Saint Sernin is in Toulouse, France. It is the largest Latin planned church. It had a lot of Christians because Toulouse used to be a huge like center of activity, and so there was this huge emphasis on like keeping it open so large that anyone who was visiting through, because it was such an intersection of people, they could all go to church. It was actually a really big community thing. No matter how grandiose and like expensive it was, it'd be like, oh, look how cool Christ is. It was actually a really nice thing to do, to have so many people be able to gather in one place and observe their own culture. But I am a little bit like, okay, it's a little too grandiose though. But yeah, this is Saint Foy Abbey Church in Conques, France. It has the same thing here. It's older. Basilica Saint Denis was built in 1070 to 1120. This one was built in 1050 to 1100. So it's a little bit older, but it hasn't been as well upkept. This, I've forgotten what the word for this is. I used to know the words for the parts of a doorway. Oh, hold on. Jambs, lintel, tympanum, portal, archivolt, voussoir. Okay, this is the tympanum. This is the archivolt. This is the lintel, and these are the jambs. And then the archivolt is made of voussoirs. And so archivolt is the archway that goes above the tympanum. The tympanum is often rounded, might be perfectly round, might be a bit pointed. It has a lot of relief sculptures. The lintel is the horizontal area that goes above the doorway, and the jambs are what hold up the lintel in order for it to be structurally sound. There you go. Look at my notes. They're so useful. But yeah, my favorite church my favorite design of a church is in Germany. It's in Hildesheim. It is called Abbey Church. And my favorite part of it is its asymmetrical nature. So it does observe the fact that a church is supposed to be cross-shaped. But it's a little bit weird with it. As you can see here, here's the rounded area on the front, here's the cross section, but for some reason, it's also on the other side. And the doorways do observe that this part is a little bit wider, but there's this big main entrance. The main entrance isn't on the front. The main entrance is on the side. It's one of my favorite shapes because of how unique it is. Because you see it's rounded here. There's not a front entrance. It's just... I love the shape of this building. This is the actual floor plan. Here it is. So here is where the priest would give his sermon. Now, usually there'd also be entrances here, across the section of where the Christ would be, his arms would be. But the entrances are instead on the sides, instead of being on the sides of the wings and on the front. Now, I've forgotten what the names of these parts are. Do I have those in my notes? I probably do, but I don't want to look for it. Byzantine Islamic. That goes from 1113 to 1204, which would mean that I took written notes in between those. Which means if I look at my notebook, I should find something after November 13th. No, we might have skipped class that week. And I don't mean like I skipped classes and like I didn't go to class. Like it might have been an off day. But if it goes straight from, okay, do I have it written down somewhere maybe? No, it's more Romanesque artwork. There's Gothic artwork, the narthex, west facade, spires. It's fine. It's fine. I might have just not taken notes on it. Oh, actually, hold on. The shape of the cross is depicted by having two towers at either end of where the horizontal beam of the cross would be if viewed from a bird's eye lens. The apse is the top of the cross. That is the big rounded part at the top. Not very large windows. That doesn't matter. Importance on large shapes and geometry, which is very different from Gothic. There's a raised elevated space above the nave. The nave is where the two beams would connect. That's the elevated space. This is not this church, so it would be in one of the other churches. It would be a better example. So... Actually, you know what? Let's show you Saint Cyriacus Church. Here, you can see it better this way. So there's the apse. There's the two parts of the cross. Again, these gets exaggerated in Romanesque. But in medieval artwork, medieval architecture, it wasn't there. Anyway, back to Japan. Sorry.
Five-story pagodas are known to have collapsed in earthquakes. Modern high-rise buildings use similar design principles to withstand the frequent earthquakes that hit Japan.
What password is
this 1,200-year-old pagoda suffered major damage in a typhoon. Craftsmen were brought in to repair it, shedding light on the depth of wisdom and skill embodied in this ancient architecture.
This part is really funny to me because he keeps the nails in his mouth, spits them out, and then hits the... That's so funny to me. That's so, like, that's... Yeah, it works, but also you could have a little toolbox to the side, buddy. This... Hey, if it's your efficiency, it's your efficiency, right? Like...
On this edition of Begin Japanology, we examine the aesthetics and remarkable strength.
I'm not sure if that's a misspelling or just a spelling that used to be in use before being phased out of existence. A story is a level or floor of a building. Okay, so it is spelled with an E. This term story is the standard term used in British English. In American English, the preferred spelling is story with no E. However, story can also be used to describe a narrative or account of events. So story is specifically with an E for... in British English, specifically the ones that are levels of a building, while story in America is, because it's so similar to story being what you're telling, they just made it the same word but different meanings. That makes sense. I do have to use the bathroom. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit y'all with this. And I will be right back. I have returned. Let's pause this. No, 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 no! Don't speak to me. Okay, so we're back.
Hello and welcome to Begin Japanology. I'm Peter Barakan. Today I've come to the Buddhist temple of Ikegami Honmonji in Tokyo, and here in the temple precincts is where we'll find the theme for our show today. It's right over there, so please come with me.
Okay, I will come with you, don't worry about it. I just heard a Peter Barakan. He's an English DJ. He does DJing. Author of books on music and English language education, he's best known as the presenter of Begin Japanology and Japanology Plus on the channel NHK World. He's 5'7". He is our human ruler. We know his brother, his spouse, he has 2 children, born in London to an Anglo-Burmese mother and a Jewish father of Polish industry. Anglo-Burmese people. Okay, so he's just doing this for fun. He has no Japanese blood in him. He's just a big fan. To the point that his wife's name is Mayumi Yoshida, and his children are named Shinosuke Barakan. Where did the name Barakan come from? Is that from his father? Because it does sound Polish. Barakan moved to Japan in 1974 after accepting a job offer as a clerk at a music publishing company. Oh, so he lived there because of his interest in music, and so he produces... Ah! I get it. I see why he knows so much now. So he's a radio host that lives in Japan because of his job. Do you think he was just interested in Japan and that's why he chose to live in Japan, or do you think like his career brought him there?
This pagoda was built 400 years ago, and it's about 30 meters high. Even from this distance, it's pretty imposing. It's quite remarkable that it's lasted all this time, and it really is an amazing piece of craftsmanship. Pagodas are often featured in posters and postcards to convey a typically Japanese scene. But even for Japanese people, the sight of a pagoda like this imparts a vivid image of traditional Japan. First of all, let's take a look at a number of pagodas around the country.
Right, so this is where things come. So again, this is about 30 meters on this one. It brings us to the temple we've spoken about before, Horyuji.
This Buddhist temple, Horyuji, stands in the Ikaruga district of Nara Prefecture. It was founded 1400 years ago. These buildings in the temple compound are the oldest extant wooden structures in the world.
There it is.
Rising 32.5 meters high,
That's the number.
The 5-story pagoda has an imposing presence, giving a deep sense
I
of its long history.
think I am spending too long just letting it speak.
Buddhism was introduced to Japan in the middle of the 6th century.
But that's not a fun watch
This pagoda was
experience.
built in 607. It stands alongside the temple.
So it was built 6th century?
This pagoda was built in 607, 6th century. Buddhism was introduced to Japan in the middle of the 6th century. And records indicate that this pagoda was built in 607.
So about 50 years later.
It stands alongside the temple's main hall, where the principal objects of worship are housed.
Right, yeah. So temple complexes are the main thing, but this is the temple itself, and that is the pagoda, and they're all part of the same complex. And so the plan is to build a temple complex on that lake rather than just like a rokunji, is just like golden house. We don't want just the temple in the man-made lake. We want to build a couple of different structures in a man-made lake with all the cool artificial islands so that it is a mega build in size and not just like a cool building with a couple of trees around. We want to have a nice grand scale.
Horyuji was one of the first places in Japan to be registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
This is
The
important.
pagoda stands tall above the precincts of this ancient temple. In the 8th century, the imperial court moved to another part of Nara. When the new capital was founded, a temple called Korfukuji was built there. It also has a 5-story pagoda.
This is great.
rising 50 meters. This is the second tallest pagoda in the country. It's as high
50 meters.
as a typical 13-story building.
50 meters. Look at all those supports in there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the center, and then 1 on each corner. So that's 4, 4 here. Another 4 here. Okay, if you noticed on Horikiji, there were less supports. You even see in my building, there's less supports the further you get up on the building because the roofs are getting smaller. We're on the 4th floor. There's still 4 pagodas in this, 4 supports in the center with 2 corners. That's 6 on a side. And I can't see because we're in 480p, unfortunately. But it looks like there's still 4 up there. That's how big this building is. If you look at this actual structure, it ends here. Then the gate extends about a block outward from there. And then the supports extend about 2... I'm saying blocks like it's Minecraft. About 2 blocks, and the roof comes out 3 blocks. In ratio to the building. I'm using blocks as a... this is a counting unit. If this is to be 3 counting units, this is the third counting... Another counting unit out. This is another counting unit out. This is another counting unit out. So for that to be 50 blocks tall, 50 meters tall, right? Because a block is a meter. We would be looking at, if it's 50, oh god, a building this wide? Each floor, if it's equidistant, like equal heights, because each roof, would it be about 5 meters tall? Because the roof would be about roughly the same height. Maybe about 2. If it's a ratio, each one's about. If the ratio is 5, it would be 2 to 5. I mean 2 to 3 on each floor. I would say 3 of the building, 2 of the roof. So it'd be like 4 blocks to 5 to 6 blocks for each floor, and then the spire on top of that. Yeah, look how tall that. Oh my god. Yeah, that's 1 counting units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that is 5. About 4 or 5 for the floor itself, and then somebody gets disguised by the roof, which would make it the 6 that we mentioned, and then the roof would come in. It's actually coming about 2. It's actually letting a lot of room of the building breathe. So it's about 5 blocks of building with 2 of the roof.
Rebuilt.
And then okay, so the first floor is always tallest. Something we're gonna have to learn. Because this one is significantly shorter than the first roof. So the first one, because you're going to be standing in it, is the one that has the most height. And then each one above that is just for the sake of having more roofs on top. And so this one here, you can see that's about 1, 2, or I would say 3 or 4 counting units for the building. And then the roof starts in that 4th one and comes down for about 2 counting units. If I'm measuring, let's say the gate, like the fence work, is a counting unit. That's 3 counting units before it hits the roof, maybe 2.5 counting units before it hits the roof. And so the roof would be about 2.5 counting units as well. I'm touching my computer screen like that means anything.
Several occasions. The current structure was erected in 1426.
Oh my god, that building. 1426. Okay. Oh, that cool. The bird! Oh, that is such a... Oh my god, that is such an impressive height.
It's now considered a symbol of Nara's golden age.
Look at those birds just sitting on the floor there. From the Nara
Kyoto
period.
was the capital of Japan for 1,000 years.
Kyoto?
Here, among the elevated bullet train tracks and modern buildings, rises an ancient 5-story pagoda.
Right. Oh!
It stands within the precincts of a temple called Toji. At 54.8 meters, this is the tallest wooden pagoda in the whole country.
54.8, Jesus. We'll just say 55, or if we're going to build something based off of it.
It has been rebuilt several times. The existing structure is the 5th, dating from the 17th century. Since there are a few other tall buildings in Kyoto, it continues to dominate the city skyline.
Damn right. I need to know if it's Sans Spire.
5-story pagodas are found all over the country. This one at Rurikoji, a temple in Yamaguchi Prefecture, was built in the 15th century.
Okay, hold on. Before we do all that, I'm going to switch you back to Minecraft. I want to see 55 blocks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Oh! Oh, that is a building! I kind of want to build it off of Toji. Because that's worthy of, being called a mega build. Like 30, 32.5, 54.8. Goodness gracious. And it would let us have this scale of an interior. But we'll see when we get to that scene.
The temple in Yamaguchi Prefecture was
Rurikochi.
built in the 15th century.
15th? All right.
The roofs have beautiful curving tips, with each tier slightly smaller than the one below, making the form slender and elegant.
Whoa! Look at that narrow-ass waist on that building. Look how... It's slightly less extended than there is width of building. When we build this, when we see in Minecraft, this building here, when we extended it from the structure itself, it doesn't extend far. Or at least as far as I would like it. Because we have this interior that is 5 blocks wide the whole way through. Simply because we need at least 1 block of space in order to exist within it. And then here we have 7 blocks, and this one's the widest. And so, if we were to go to the extent of making this, we get to have a large interior, because the roofs will have to scale with it. And so, these ones are really small and skinny, which I would say replicate more older styles of pagoda, because they weren't as extraneous with how the shape of the roof, how far extended it was. And so, with the mega build, with what we want to do, I want to emphasize how huge these roofs are. And as you can see, with the 30 block one, we also had the issue of running into where the roofs just... I had the 3 block I was trying to replicate. We have to make it way larger. But I want this shape. And I want this structure. And so if we were to have a roof that extends beyond this, right? The pillars... Okay, we'll get to there in a second. But we might need to have like a roof that extends... like... one more block after this. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks out. That might not even be enough. It might need to be 7. Oh, I might need to be sub. Trying to like envision 6 or 7, definitely. I might be arguing with myself on that one for a while, but that's definitely it.
Set among dense forest of cedar at Hagoroyama in Yamagata Prefecture, this pagoda was built in the 14th century.
You mentioned that.
It has survived more than 600 years through the harsh winters of northeast Japan,
Ooh, I love
inspiring
snow.
awe and devotion.
It's a very nice shade. It's why I wanted to build that pagoda on
This
Kabumon
dignified
out of
pagoda
green.
is at Hasedera, a temple in Nara Prefecture. Erected after the Second World War, it's one of a number of new pagodas around the country. Pagodas have been built in many parts of Japan and in different historical periods, but they share similar design and construction principles
This is
that
true.
give them their elegant appearance. One key is the sense of proportion. Each tier is slightly narrower than the one below. It's the ratio between the width of the bottom and top stories that determines the pagoda's overall proportions.
Okay.
This is the pagoda at Myoin, a temple in Hiroshima Prefecture.
Right. Hiroshima,
The
not
widths of the
Hiroshima.
bottom and top stories are not so different. Pagodas with these proportions have a tall, slender appearance.
Yes, this is what we want to achieve in our build.
By contrast, in the case of Horyuji's pagoda, the bottom floor is about twice as wide as the one at the top.
Well, that's because it was added in post. It was originally wide.
Having this
let's see what-
substantial base gives the structure a sense of solidity. Another important element that contributes to the graceful form of pagodas is the shape of the roofs. On each tier, the roofs curve upwards at the
The little-
eaves.
The little lanterns that you saw at the bottom there. Right there, that lantern? We want a bunch of those. I need to put those places.
Each tier, the roofs curve upwards at the eaves. This kind of subtle curvature can only be achieved through sophisticated craftsmanship.
And Minecraft blocks.
This company builds and repairs temples and shrines around Japan, including pagodas. It can trace its history back around 1400 years.
1400.
Using actual size patterns made of plywood, each piece of timber is cut with the greatest of care. The beams used for the eaves must be given a delicate curvature. It takes considerable experience and skill for the craftsman to fashion a beautiful curve.
And it takes a mother. 9 months of gestation. No, that's not the right word.
The
Anyway,
strength of the wood will vary from one timber to the
so this occurs like, well, it takes a human being about 25 years.
next. At the same time, the weight of the roof can cause the wood to warp. Taking these aspects into consideration in producing these curves is a test of the skills of temple carpenters. Slender and graceful as they reach up to the sky, the beauty of the pagodas lies in their proportions and the silhouette of their gently curving eaves. It's thanks to the advanced skills of craftsmen past and present that the beauty of these pagodas has been preserved.
Let's take a closer look at the pagoda here at Honmonji, which is the oldest in the Tokyo area. You'll see that the proportions of the bottom floor are about the same as the top. It's really very nicely proportioned. You'll see under the eaves the details of the carving, and also there's the balustrades between each floor there.
Yes.
You can imagine that the view up
Balustrades.
from the top must be pretty magnificent. Unfortunately, though, you can't go up there. It looks like it's a 5-story building. In fact, there are no floors and no stairs either, so you just can't go up. Those ornamental balustrades are very nice looking, but they don't have any practical use. Next, let's find out why.
The origins of Japan's pagodas go back to ancient India, and the earliest days of Buddhism in the 5th century BC.
Yep.
This stupa dates back to the 3rd century BC. Built to enshrine relics of the Buddha, stupas like this are the forerunners of Japanese pagodas. The small parasol-like structures on stupas represent the past, present, and future of the Buddha. This arrangement changed over the centuries into the finials found on top of Japanese pagodas. The tradition of building stupas reached China along with Buddhism. At the time, multi-story buildings were being developed in China, and this led to the creation of tall Buddhist pagodas, constructed from various materials, including wood, stone, and brick. Buddhism was brought to Japan in the middle of the 6th century, and pagoda architecture soon followed. At Horyuji Temple, the pagoda with its Buddha relics.
They just skipped over Korea again. Why does everyone skip over Korea? Korea is the one that influenced the shape of the Japanese pagoda.
Held pride of place alongside the main worship hall in the centre of the precinct. In those days, a pagoda was considered one of the most sacred Buddhist edifices.
Yes.
Japanese pagodas have a unique
Here it
interior
is.
structure. They were not built for people to climb up inside. Their numerous timbers all serve to support the structural weight.
Gosh. Just, the intricacies, man.
Running up through the structure is a central pillar. This supports the finial set on the very top. It sits on a foundation stone that sometimes houses Buddhist relics. This pillar is revered as a symbol of the Buddha himself.
A lot of things are representative of the Buddha. Hi, Luna. It is Minecraft, Luna. We're observing how to build in Minecraft. We're studying architecture. It literally says Japanese paintings and architecture research. That is the name of the stream. I don't know how else I can get more clear about it. I can only write the words. Whether or not they're read is a whole other thing.
This is the pagoda at Toji in Kyoto.
Hold on, what's called?
This is the pagoda at Toji in. This is the pagoda at Toji in.
Oh, this is Toji.
Kyoto.
It's Toji. Oh, Toji's the one that we were thinking of building because it's 55 meters.
Surround.
Okay, so this thing he's standing on, is that the pedestal? Because it might just be. Because this is definitely the bottom. Okay. Toji pagoda. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Is this it? No, because look how... That's not it, is it? Oh, it might be. Yeah. Look how wide this pedestal is. Oh, that's definitely it. Okay, so he's already up a level. We're gonna close this tab for now. He's definitely up a level, and he's going up there. Can we see like? This, yeah, you can see the crest right here. So these doors are actually a step up, like you can see here.
Surrounding.
So this is a wide berth on this building. That's like 5 meters in either way, you think? You can't tell from here. Oh, that's like a birdhouse. That's cute. Yeah, there's big doors, man. Oh, you can. Oh, yeah. This thing is definitely 55 meters tall. Jesus. Oh, this is a gorgeous. Oh my god. Now the point was to be made out of wood around a central metal pillar, and you can see the oxidization happening around this area. Now the thing is, when we want to translate this into Minecraft, we are changing the color scheme, even though we are riffing on the shapes and the heights and stuff. If we want that old wood look, because look, if you look at these roofs, these are gray tilings. This would be like a nice polished deep slate, and I don't want to use those colors in the frozen ocean. I think polished deep slate is too bright of a gray. like, here's OBS. There you go. If you look here at my deep slate, when I was if you look at my deep slate palette, that color would actually match more closely with this. But if we want to build them out of slabs, it would be more close to polished deep slate. If we want the right texture, polished deep slate and polished deep slate bricks. Well, these actually aren't called polished deep slate bricks. Would it be nicer? This is way too dark, even though the tiles are nice. So these would be the right colors. We could probably mix in some of these if we're careful with it. It's a nice painting. Love villagers. They gossiped. They summoned an iron golem. If we want an ashier gray, we have like this as an option. Which again, we don't have slab variants, so it's not very useful for us. So this is just be a hard palette to make into the roof, specifically if we're trying to copy one-to-one the Toji. But because, like, again, we copied Horyuji, the shape, the structure, but without copying the palette. And so we could probably do something similar. Again, we're going on the frozen ocean. I don't want to use the blues. The blues are washed out when you put them on a huge expanse of it. Even that, like, this is getting washed out because it's, even though it's warped, it's a bit more green. And the earthy tones kind of bleed into each other. I want to make the next temple purely out of wood. Now the roofs, we're going to have to fudge a bit if we want to make it correctly colored. Like, we have pale oak, which has that pinkish reddish undertones to give it that earthy vibe that then blends in with other colors of wood. If we ever need to use white, like on Horyuji to have the white. Now Toji does not. It is pure brown top to bottom. So if let's watch the video and see how all the colors work together.
On the central pillar, there is a group of 12 statues. The pillar and...
Let's move back a few frames. You can see here, let's say this man's about the same height as Peter Barakan, who is 5'7", and we're going to say 5'8" for our purposes, just for like an even number. If you give him about 4 inches about here, to be 6 foot, right? So if he's 5, an inch would be like this much. This would be about 2 meters tall. So if we use building blocks, this is halfway through. This is about a block tall through the middle. And so we go back to Minecraft. If we put all our reliquaries here, right? I'm sorry, if we put all our relics here on the reliquary, this would be accurate height. And so we can put like little trinkets and stuff, like a totem of undying or whatever, if we want to like go down like a fully in one-to-one of the Buddhist. Or you can put like little artifacts. Now there is that big central statue, because it's not actually like the front level is 1 block tall, but this area up here that goes in one is actually where all the statues are held, and all 12 of them. But I see one. Okay, there's one in front. There's a small one in front, and then the big one in the back. So 4 big ones, and then 3 small ones on each side. So if we want to properly represent that, we can use stairs instead to put it up that 1 level extra. And then have the armor stand like in the back there, and then 3 small armor stands in the front. If we want to fully go down the Buddhist route, which we don't necessarily. And then these would give us that extra lip that's on the build. We can put different like armor stand things here. I do want to show inside of the building. They show the picture of that roof earlier. Once you see the statue, which I would say is like 2 meters tall, in terms of including the halo. And then it goes up another from there. Let's say you have 2 blocks for the statue itself. Then another block on top of that. And I would say 1 more block on top of that. Here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where our roof would begin. But there's like a dip here, a lip, before coming back out. So this would be our approximate height of the building. Put the music back on while we scope out this build. I like this height. I do. And these would be the entrances on the side of the building. And I do like the lip that happens here. I think that was in the original build. This wide berth here. If I stack these on top of each other, because they get a little bit shorter here, I don't know if I'd reach 55. So we might have to stretch things a little bit. We might make the roof a bit higher. The ceiling, sorry. Well, let's get a sense of, like, scale and lighting, which are things that are very important. Because this building does not have windows. If I go back to the exterior shot of an image of it, and it's something we're not going to be able to replicate fully in game, but it has these slats that let in some light. But other than that, there's no windows whatsoever on the upper floors. It is just these doorways that might have as a sliver through it and these slats of windows. So we can use fences, but this is a building that is dark, which I do like the idea of. I do like the idea of building a building where you are lacking natural light. Now, if we do want to put in light, our best options are glow lichen and soul lanterns, needed to keep that vibe of a dark atmosphere and room. So let's just touch time set mode. This is what the building would look like interior-wise. So like this here. Ah. That's why. That's what was pissing me off. That's interesting. Because the roof does not start here on Toryuji. I mean, not Toryuji, Toji. Okay. There's a complication here. Because there's a lip here. Before you're allowed to enter the building, there's a lip that goes up here. Because the entirety of all of this is actually predicated. That's not the right word. Is actually reliant on this. And then the lip that leads you into the building. And then below that is the actual main pedestal itself. So and this would extend a wide berth, right? Because the roof is typically the same size as this. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I kind of... Is that a wide enough walkway? Because then the 7th can be... like the lip. Can you stop doing that? Oh my god. And then another staircase can go right here. Actually, it would extend beyond the lip. So here. I do futz with the shape. Now, we do have to focus on these walls, because the walls have to have a nice shape to them. And so we have to start thinking about what we want the body of the building's color to be. Because we have to build in a lot of depth into just this flat wall. So we can use fences, we can use walls, we can use trapdoors. And so the blocks that we need in order for shaping then force us to use specific colors. Because not every block, not every color has the right nice amount of variance. And we can use the fact that planks bulge out while logs get pushed in a bit. I've been using mangrove as like an example because it's a good wood. But we don't have walls in that color. And we can't actually put doors here because of the fact that it's 3 wide. And these have to be the same level as the doorway. I think we can't have the central pillar ratio be like this and have an even doorway. And so this is more proportionally accurate to what we're looking for in the doors, which means we have to extend this like this. Now these are the wrong width for the building, but we want this 3 wide walkway inside. Because if we look at the original image that we're referencing, it would be considered 3 wide, but we take out half of each side of these blocks and then push them in like this. And so another way we could probably solve this issue and we represent the slats instead of with fences, with fence gates. That is an idea. That is a potential thing we could do. I don't like it though. In theory, we can have the doorways lined like this. And then we can put our pillar going across our lintel back in. I don't know if I necessarily like it though. I do like these, because these are both accurate to the original building, and provide us with some more of that depth to give visual interest on the front. I do not like how these do leave it feeling very open. We don't want that sense of openness. We do want it to feel more closed. So we can just ignore the fact that there's supposed to be slats while still letting in some natural light if we use spruce trapdoors specifically. Because these both replicate the original color of the building and have the slat texture. But I don't love the brown. Because that gets into the territory of just being the original Toji. And we are not going to be able to replicate the original Toji. Because right here we already see the issue. This for texture. Because we can't use... If it's going to be brown, we can't use those. So it doesn't pop. Now walls do the same thing. And they have that same depth of texture. We can do this to them. To give it that bulge effect, so that the middle is it. So it lets the light in. Still has this tiled texture like the slats. So while the original did have this, there's really thin logs that make up the building, and we don't want to overwhelm the building with it. So we can probably put the buttons there. If I show the original image again, you can see it has these thin logs in use, and you can see the places where they intersect. You can see the ends of the log. But that's too much for what we're doing on the build itself. I think with this scale, now that I'm looking at it, we could definitely fit 55. But 55, okay, divided by 5. Let me put my calculator. That's 11. This means each floor would be 10.5 if we give some leeway. Which would make it 52.5, giving us the 2.5 blocks. One of those blocks is going to be given to the pedestal, which isn't the name, I keep calling it that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, we have 10 blocks. 10.5. The roof, we've already used up 6 or 7 here. We're going to cover this ceiling up with the roof. So it's going to be 6 here with 4.5 on top. Or it can bleed in. We can make it 5.5. Because it's gonna bleed into the building itself. Well, if you look at the original image, it actually doesn't bleed in at all. Like here's what we've just built on the bottom, and then the roof starts. And I would say they're about equal height, this area, from the start of the tiling down to here. Yeah, the first roof and the first floor are significantly larger. Like, this roof is larger than this roof in terms of height. And then there's... this floor is 2 blocks. If 2 counting units, my bad. Then we have the balustrade. There's like half a block, which bleeds into this one. So like it would come out, and this would be about half a counting unit.
Pagoda are considered to represent Dainichi Nyorai, the Buddha worshipped in the esoteric schools of Japanese Buddhism.
Okay, so these are just guardrails, but they're not actually a level up. So it'd be a pedestal specifically for the center tower to the Aragon. Then you would put something in front of it. So you'd have the 3 here, and then have something in front. Oh no. I still only count... oh, the flowers on top are what it is. Okay, so we don't actually have to worry about fitting... okay, we can have 4 big statues, then the 2 smaller statues, and then add up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the 4 lotus flowers on top. I don't know where the 12th one comes in, but that's... You can see here, this is where like the beam went up that I was mentioning, and then these are like rafters. Oh, look at this, all this intricate paintwork and the skull. Oh, the woodworking. Goodness gracious.
Pagodas like this are an important part of the long history of Buddhism in Japan, and
I like your
remain
glasses, man.
objects of worship for many people to this day.
When pagodas started to be built about 1400 years ago, they were considered the most important structures of their temples, but that changed over the centuries. They came to be seen more as symbols, and that was because of their striking appearance. The pagoda here at Honmonji is set well apart from the main buildings. Because of its great height, it can be seen from way beyond the temple's precincts. The steeples on Western churches and cathedrals were seen as an attempt to reach skyward towards heaven and the divine, and for that reason, they were built very high. On the other hand, Japanese pagodas were not a means of reaching to heaven, but rather were objects of worship themselves. When pagodas were first introduced from India into China, they became closely connected with the Chinese architectural style of towers, and then Japanese pagodas started to take the form of these tall structures. They were originally meant to be extravagant buildings housing important Buddhist statues, but then eventually Japanese rulers began to construct pagodas as symbols of their own power, and some were said to be as much as 100 meters tall. Another impressive thing about pagodas is that they have lasted for well over 1,000 years, despite the fact that Japan is a country which is particularly prone to earthquakes. For this reason, pagodas have a reputation for their strength and resilience, and next we'll take a look at the science underlying that reputation.
The earthquake that hit Kobe and surrounding areas in 1995 had a magnitude of 7.3. It left more than 6,000 people dead and destroyed numerous buildings, including historic structures and cultural artifacts.
Yeah, it's
This temple,
really bad living on a fault line, because I remember, because the reason they had the typhoon, they also had tsunamis, like the one who named tsunami, they made the word for that. Like it's because of the earthquakes. They live on the fault line, and the earthquakes just upset the water, and the water just comes crashing in, and it's really, really bad. But it is crazy that the pagodas have stood.
Stands close to the epicenter of the quake. Its main hall was damaged along with other buildings, but there was one structure that was virtually unscathed. It was this pagoda.
3-story.
In Japan, pagodas like this have long been revered for their ability to survive earthquakes. Ryuji's pagoda has survived for 1,400 years, withstanding at least 6 major earthquakes that have been recorded. And there had never been any accounts of pagodas being toppled by earthquakes. This is why they become legendary in Japan for their strength. The reasons for their resilience have been explained by modern science.
It's also explained by the ancient science that they used to build them.
When an earthquake occurs, the tremors that run through the ground have a high frequency. This causes the pagoda to sway, but at a rate that is slower than the movement of the ground. Because the frequencies are different, the pagoda swaying cancels out the vibrations from the ground. That's why it's so hard for a pagoda to be toppled in a quake. There's another reason for their legendary strength. This test was conducted on a model of a 5-story pagoda built on a 1/5 scale. To measure the pattern of the swaying, it was fitted with nearly 100 sensors. The experiment begins simulating an intense earthquake. Data picked up from the sensors placed on the pagoda was used to create a computer simulation. This revealed that the stories don't all lean in the same direction at once. Some sway to the left, while others sway to the right. Because the pagoda jiggles like a dancer doing the twist, it maintains its balance. If all the stories were to lean in the same direction, the centre of gravity would shift, and it would topple over easily. But since
This is all very interesting, but it's not relevant to the art.
At the same time, researchers also shed light on the role of the complex wooden joints at the tops of the pillars and under the eaves.
Right. Okay, tell me about these.
Each of these joints is composed of several small components, which together support the weight of the pagoda. Researchers have found that when the vibrations from a quake reach these joints, this creates friction. They absorb and convert the energy of the quake, heating up while acting as a damper on the shaking. There are more than 100 points in a pagoda where this occurs, helping to prevent it from collapsing.
Oh my god. Okay. I was just thinking about like how I would represent that.
It's thanks to these hidden building techniques that Japanese pagodas are
And I think we're going to have to just deal with the fact that blocks aren't that detailed.
Many of the new high-rise buildings in Japanese cities incorporate earthquake suppression technology based on the principles used in traditional pagodas. This architectural know-how dating back over 1,000 years lives on in these modern structures.
The structure of Japanese pagodas reflects the philosophy that's also found in martial arts, that flexibility can overcome physical strength. According to traditional
Right.
craftsmen and architects in the
Naturally.
soldiers too,
Yeah, brother, we're not going to speak about like jujitsu or something.
the
Jujitsu.
structure of Japanese pagoda is so flexible that even the impact of one person pushing on it can be detected. As we've already said, Japan's very prone to earthquakes, and for this reason, architects designing high-rise buildings these days often take their cue from the structure of pagodas. In this way, the skills and knowledge of traditional craftsmen live on to this day in these buildings. Nevertheless, although pagodas are resistant to quakes, they are vulnerable in other ways. And about 10 years ago, one was seriously damaged in a typhoon. Next on our video, we'll take a look at how traditional craftsmen set about repairing it.
I don't need to know how they repair it. It is, again, very interesting to me. Not important for today.
When the severity of the damage became clear, the experts scratch, demolishing this 1,200-year-old structure.
God, that's gorgeous. Sorry. Oh my god. Oh, that's beautiful.
Precisely to the nearest.
This is just
Cracks are
them.
repaired and carefully put back into place.
There we go. Now they're constructing, I can see. Yeah, this isn't going to be useful for me in
Components
Minecraft.
are also slotted into
But
position.
they build like they curve the woods, they carve it to
There is
be
a-
the correct shape for the eaves, so that they can
Assemble.
put them into place and
craft-
have that perfect curve once more.
The craftsman the old day repair team.
Oh, and they fill in the broken wood by carving out a section to fit in a new plank. Ah, and that makes it. That's so smart. Instead of replacing it, you save some.
These
I get it.
timbers, over 60% date from the
Look at those pillars.
original construction. These 1,200-year-old timbers have survived through numerous restoration efforts.
That's so cool.
One of
It's
those
so cool that it's so old, but it's so like kicking around and being good at its job.
can know the wind carefully. Its roof get cut and fixed into place.
Please do not hold wooden nails in your mouth, guys.
Stand
Dip it in
twist
water.
craft.
Structures, construction.
Wood doesn't taste that good, gang.
Deck.
Alright, so that's the full video. The latter half is how they construct it in real life, which isn't gonna really be helpful for us, but it is interesting. You can see the link. I'll put it in the description below. But it is so cool. God, it's so cool. But Toji Pagoda. I can't zoom into this one. You can see this is what we've been looking at. Those I thought were, because the low res of the original photo that we were looking at, they actually are just buttons going across the lintel. So that is good information. They're just like little carvings. And there's these big pillars that go up through here. These are actually more of this. But they extend on the... Okay, so it's actually would be better if I did something like... in order to represent that idea of the special symbols. And because we have no doors, we can actually take advantage of that and do this for our entryway. And that would explain in like an extended beam. Now we're probably not going to use gold. This again, we're all proof of concepting this, and we can switch around the blocks later for pallets. Oh, that's nice. That pop of color helps a lot. Again, so I do want the majority of this build to be the same color. Oh, not same color, the same, be made of wood. So typically when you do something like this, when you want to use a lot of different types of wood, your best bet is actually spruce, because you have it stripped all the way up until the gates, the trapdoors, these are all the same shade of brown. Now the logs are a different shade, but oak actually is the correct shade in order to match. So if you want something to not have a varied color scheme, but you do want it all to be wood, this is my go-to. Because like, look at this. These are all varying shades of the same brown. And that's so, so useful. That is so handy in ways you cannot fathom. Brown is one of the most plentiful colors that we have in Minecraft, and we have a lot of different shades, but we specifically have a lot of it in this specific color range. And this, so when you want to build, these are your resources. And so if we wanted to, again, also like with Doji Pagoda, it is this shade of brown. That it is a more reddy shade, like we have here with the mangrove. It is a red tint to it. And they put a lot of yellow lights on it. Oh, that's interesting. It is a darker pagoda in a lot of these shots, though. Like close up, it has that. It's a spruce with a wash on it that provides a darker contrast. So like, it is this color originally without like a varnish, but with the varnish, it is significantly darker. So it might be nicer to use spruce logs and dark oak. Yeah, that's not Toji Pagoda. It says it is, but it's... Oh, it just might be. Hold on. I'll show this on camera because I'm debating if it's whether or not it's accurate. So this is one we've been looking at. This is another one we've been looking at. And these both have the same gate in front. And they have the same doors. This says Toji Pagoda. Like, it's literally Shutterstock, the historic Toji Pagoda in Kyoto. But it doesn't have the same doors. Or jams, or linta, nothing. It's just a lie. That's just not Toji. This is it. Okay, but see, once again, no, that's not it. That's not it at all. It is. It is. My bad. It is. This guy is a little bit taller than this. And I doubt this guy is like 4 meters tall. So we're dealing with the predicament of a block and a half of staircase. Let's try this. Well, see, that guy's probably not 6 foot. 2 blocks it's 2 meters. 1 block is 1 meters. 1 meter, singular. If it's coming up to his neck, and let's say he's 5'8" again, right? It would be below 2.5. It would be a block and a trapdoor. Well, a block and trapdoor would not be 4 either. Because a block and a half would be between 3 and 6. It would be about 5.5. No, 4.5. 3, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.5. I would, yeah, it's 1.5. You have to add 1.5. It'd be 4.5. I was right. So 4.5, 3 feet and 6 feet. 4.5 feet. It'd be 1.5 meters. 4.5 feet. If you are a head taller than 4.5 feet, I think it actually would be best to make it 2 blocks tall. Because what you'd need is like 7/8 of 2 blocks. Which isn't a build that you can do. Unless you're planning on building out of enchanting tables, which I am not. Because like, think about it this way. I'm a little less than 2 blocks. By 2 pixels. A block is 16 tall, so this is 10. So I'm 16, 10. That's 26. I'm 26 out of 32. Wrong. I'm 30 out of 32. What the hell was that? There's 2 pixels above me, that's 14. That's 16 plus 14. It's 30 out of 32. What am I doing? It's 30 out of 32. Or 15 out of 16. That's approximately what I am. So if 16 is equivalent to 2 meters... And I'm... Okay. Let me do the math on that one. So 2 blocks is 32. I'm 30 out of 32. Or 15 out of 16. Either way the ratio works out. And we have 2 meters is equivalent to 32 pixels. Or 1 meter is equivalent to 16 pixels. And I have 15 pixels to 16 pixels. Oh, 32 to 32. So I have to do some conversions. So 30 over 32 would be equivalent to x over 2. Because we have x meters over 2 meters, and we have 30 pixels over 32 pixels. So you would isolate the x, you would multiply both sides by 2. So we're going to do 30 over 32 times 2 is equivalent to x. So it would actually be 30 times 2 over 1, which would be 60 over 32. Which I'm not going to do that math in my head. 1.875. So the player is 1.875 meters tall. Which, if we convert that to feet, because I'm an American, hooah! It is 6'1", 0.819. So what is exactly 2 meters then? 2 meters is 6.56. Okay, let me get the exact. It's 6'6". So 2 blocks is 6'6". Me as a player is 6'1", 6'2", basically. So actually, if I were to do 1.5 meters, that'd be about 5 feet. Because it says 4.9. So let me just convert that instead. 1.5 meters to feet would be 4'11". So it's 5 foot. So if you are a head taller than this, and the average head I would say is a foot long. Wrong. Not wrong. Not wrong. How big is my head? My head My head is a foot long. I'm 6'3". If you're a 5'8" person... Okay. Head to height ratio. This is the important stuff. Head to height ratio is about 1 to 8. So my head might be shorter than a foot then. Unless I just have a large head. Let me bottom of my chin, top of my head. Extend it in front of me. I'm gonna be honest, guys. If I had a ruler, I think that'd be a foot. And I'm 6'3". Do I have a ruler near me? I used to have a ruler near me. I might still have one. I definitely have one in my room. I do a lot of art. Aha! There's a ruler. It has a bunch of paint on it. Guys, you could never guess why I have paint on my ruler. My ruler is going to be measuring 12 inches or 30 centimeters. Bottom of my chin. My head is shorter than a foot. By how much? It's about 9 inches tall. My head is about 9 inches tall. So we can do 9 divided by 6 with 3. 6 is 72. 72 with 75. So if I do a ratio, 9 divided by 75 is 0.12. 0.12 out of 100 is 12%. And also roughly 8%. Yeah, so it is about 1 to 8. So if a person's head who is 5'8", 5 foot being 60, 60 plus 8 is 68, we would then do 12 divided by 68. No, that's wrong. If the result is 12, no, we have a person height is 68. We have X as their head. All right, I'm doing math again. So I, as a 6'3" person, 75, have a head of about 9. It's larger than 9, but we're gonna go with 9 because I want my strong numbers. Then we have equivalent to 9 divided by 75. Is X over 68. So multiply, okay, so then we multiply 0.12 by 68, which is 8.16. So we have about an 8-inch head. Which would make sense. Well, it's 8.16. But it doesn't really matter. So... if your head taller, which is about 8 inches, and 8 inches is about 2/3 of a foot. And this here is 1.5 meters, which is 5 feet. You need the extra 8 inches of your head to peak above. And that guy wasn't... Okay, so this is correct then. This is a correct height for how large the base should be. But because this has to start a floor lower, we would put it here. No. And then have the step going up to it be here. And then here. And that would be our staircase. But that wouldn't line up with the way that we want things to be. So instead, we can do a bit of fudging. Put this here, and then make all of this here instead, so that we can have the block here? Or we just forego the accurate measurements. What would be more beneficial? Because what we were doing originally is we were going to have this come out, and then we have this block be here. I think this is better. I think what we were doing in the first place is a better idea. So even though the actual platform isn't 1.5, we have the illusion with the lip, which then allows us to have the flat bottom and then make it raise that way. And the height discrepancy will come from the fact that we're building something that's 55 blocks tall instead of 54.8. So I think that'll do it. I think that's enough planning for today. Let's hop on the actual server. Oh. So, a lot of things have happened since we last streamed, so let's quickly go over them. We finished the pagoda! It's all done, it's all built. Now again, you guys have seen it before because it was on the testing world, but we're here. They might be AFK, which is why they're not saying hi back. But, look at all this. We have a storage room. Oh, they're not AFK, they're just mean to me. There they are. We have the storage. We have to get used to the storage, but this is how we're fitting it. We have a room up here. We're letting the other stuff slowly oxidize. It's getting there. It'll take its time. Yeah, this is. I like this room a lot. I do enjoy the fact that it's not as spacious. It has humble abodes. We went to an ocean monument way over. Load for me, buddy. You can see you can see on the map. It's right here. We went to this one. I killed the other guardians. I mined some of the dark prismarine, and I just converted it into what I needed for the build. We have the spire on top. Give me a second. I don't know if somebody actually is just being mean to me, or if I accidentally left those unflipped. No! Okay, they did way more impact than I thought it would. We're doing it this way. By the way, this is how I build. When I wanted to get to the upper floors and build, I just did this. Okay, we got a bunch of ender eyes. We're going to the end soon. I don't think it's going to be on stream today. Yeah. On the other side too. There you go. All set. We have the melon farm as well. Set up. I fixed the redstone. Uh-oh. There we go. Pretty even spread. We've got mending on our tools. We've got some armor here. Let's re-enchant our helmet while we're here. Not the best protection, but we'll live. Aqua Affinity allows us to see underwater better. Which we have the night vision, and we have the clearer water, but it's always nice to have even better vision. We have another villager inside of this house over here. We trade iron with them. And we have our librarian for lanterns, glass, and mending. And breach 3. The rest of these are useless. I do have to set up the villager trading hall. I am clearing out these houses. This farm is going to be moved. And we're going to clear out a nice stretch of space. Probably we can put it... like, dig out here. Put it along this. And have them go in rows. And we enclose the building. And it's not going to be pretty. Again, the only pretty building here has to be the pagoda because we're living in it. The rest of this is just ugly, set it up quick and fast, get our resources. But we're only going to make the farms when we need the resources for the builds that we're making, right? We don't want to spend all our time making farms and waste it doing all that. Because I did that on Eclipsed, because there's a bunch of mods, and I just wanted to learn how to farm everything. But we don't have to do that. This is vanilla. We don't have to learn how to farm things. So this is our efficiency. This is how we're going to work. We have this guy. It's not named Lotus. We named it Asu, because that is the Japanese word for lotus. That's it. That is the only reason. There we go. It was too loud for me. We have a last clip from the pillagers. I killed them. I murdered them. I said I would let them die naturally, like despawning, but I didn't feel like it. We did visit Rain. Rain lives very far away. Rain lives here. This is Rain's little village. And flower field, sunflowers. We got sunflower shield. We got a banner. It's inside our house. We put it right here. Look at that. Because me and Rain like sunflowers. That's our favorite flower. So we put that there. And they gave me a bunch of saplings because they'd gone around and grabbing saplings. So if we ever need to build out of any wood, we just have to grow them a bunch. Which we will probably make a tree farm. That one I will make. We want fully enchanted armor, so we are going to do the villager stuff so we can just stay protected. And I can't think of any other farms that we'll want to work on. And villager breeding is not a fun process, so we're not going to focus on that. We already have a couple of villagers lined up to go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have these guys off. Both farms are off, so they can't breed, they can't produce iron. Because we also have a lot of iron. So we can turn those back on when we need them, but they're off for now because we don't want to lag out the server or nothing. I'm going to be getting rid of all these houses. They're going to go. The village is going to go. Because we have all the villages where we need them to be. So they're all just going to be stuck in the trading hall. Which is inhumane, but it's whatever. These are our... what are these called? Dark oak trees. We got pale oak, we got acacia, we got jungle, and all that. So... Let's just do a quick menial task to prove that we were on the Bugtown SMP, we're doing things. Rah, 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 rah! I forgot the snow is so overbearing. Let's do some trading. Let's get some levels. We have all that sugarcane. We needed it for trading with the villager. I think it's time we make another librarian. And get ourselves a better book. I think we can do that today. So that would be horribly, horribly boring to just place it down and place it back in. So we're going to do one. We're going to do one. I'm going to make you eat your vegetables. I'll make you see how we do things. The peek behind the curtain of everything boring and why how things must go. And then we can go back to the fun stuff like building and architecture and lessons. I want to get like a protection 4 maybe. You still took all my carrots, man. That's a full crop. Alright. I'm not going to trade in the pumpkins. I don't need to do that just yet. I will trade you some paper. Did I leave a crafting table in here? I did. Or later. I want those. Never even said hi. Wow. I forgot this is not where I live anymore. Yeah, so... Alright, let's go grab a lectern. Do I have a minecart over there? No, I don't. I've been kind of keeping these guys in minecart so they don't run around or nothing. And they stay safe in there. This is the front entrance, guys. I promise. I would keep my lectern in my miscellaneous, which is here. Yeah, we're slowly getting it. And this glass goes in the chest of things that can be colored, along with the colors. Oh, we need a minecart. Which we have some iron in our house, so it's easier to go here. Uno, dos, tres. Vamos, 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 vamos. Yippee. So. How dare you? There we go. So we're gonna stick this here. Give me this. Wonderful. Bam. And I want you to look at this real close. Awesome. No traits. Wonderful. Okay, this is gonna be a process. Fire protection data. No. No. Just one max trait. Just one maxed out trait. Brother, you're killing me. Luck of the C3. Okay, that's a maxed out trade, but it's... We're not fishing, buddy. We need, like, useful tools. Breach 3, brother. You can't do this to me. I already have Breach 3, too. I actually have a list on my... I have, like, a spreadsheet of every maxed out trade. Enchanted book list. We're on a new server, so... Every single checkbox goes unchecked. These are all for Eclipse. Sorry. Yes, I hear you, zombie. I hear you. And then I have a bunch of modded enchantments on the side that just aren't useful anymore. We don't need those. Alright, so we have mending, so we can click this. We have Breach 3. So we'll add Breach 3 to the melee combat list. Because I don't have any of the mace ones on here. But basically, this, like, if I forget how high a max enchant is, I can just check here on my list. Which you guys cannot see. I'm not showing you it. But... There you go. That should be everything. I have them mostly memorized, so it's not really important to look at it. But it's like, which one do I have? It's like, well, now you know. Breach 4? Never mind. So it's Breach 4. Density 3, maybe? I know it's one of them. I had plans to tell you guys about the trees that I was planning on building, and that's why I had like a bunch of images pulled up of like Japanese artwork and like how they depicted trees, because I wanted to base it off the paintings. But now it's like I spent like a good 2 hours speaking about building, and I want to put in some actual gameplay at the end, so we push it forward to another time. Mace enchantments. I actually have a list. Hold on. Enchant orders, which tells me how to enchant the most important ones. So it's mace. It's breach 4. It's density 5, and it can only be put on separate tools. And then windburst 3. That's the one. I knew there was 3 enchantments, and one of them was 5, one of them was 4, one of them was 3, and I got them all switched up. But that's fine. Silk Touch! Oh, you're a godsend, actually. For 5 emeralds? Okay. I like your style, man. So I'm going to put this on my pickaxe. So we're going to disenchant our pickaxe. Stick you in here. Awesome. Let's grab a mending book while we're at it. There you go. Right, you already shipped. And we have a Silk Touch pickaxe, which is perfect for what we want. Thank you so much, good sir. You will go... It's a bit cramped in here, man. Just... Nope. You go in there. You go in there. Just gonna nudge you that way. Is there a rail underneath you? No, there isn't. Okay. And there we go. What am I doing? Go back. Stupid. Stupid, stupid. Alright, so now that we have that done... let's do a few more cleanup tasks. Like, we need more leather. For the upcoming book trades we're going to need. So we have these, actually. So let's just... There you go, 40 books. That should be good for trading for a good while. So we actually don't need to kill any cows. Let's grab some more cactus, because we're going to need green dye at some point, and we don't have it in droves. So we might as well do this for now. We're not going to make a cactus farm until much later. Alright, we can tear down this house. It feels sad, because we used to, you know, I still have some sentimental attachment to it. We can leave it be. This house stays. This house, I need to move that villager. This house can go. Especially because we have to dig out cobblestone for resources like redstone. Because cobble deep slate does not work. For some unknown reason, it does not let me craft with it. Which is upsetting and annoys me, and it makes me upset. So, I've kind of been using... I've torn down like maybe 1 or 2 other houses, and I've been using them as my necessary resources. And so not only is this good because it gives us more open space in order to put in the villager trading hall, it's also necessary for future contraptions down the road. Because I do at some point want to do something redstone-y with the man-made lake we're going to be working on. And I don't know what it'll be. But I want to put in a feature that is moving. I have a lot of things I want to do. I just have to figure out how to fit it into the theme. Oh, we have Silk Touch. We can get the grass plant. Oh, it's magical. Okay, let's move you a little bit closer. I dropped my phone. Wonderful. So, isn't that weird? I've never even looked at that chest. That's crazy. There you go. That snow's floating. Don't do that. That's cheating. You can't do that. That's breaking the game. I can't build like that. I think we want to focus on something building related. Because I did a farm episode. I did. Sorry, my neighbors are like yelling over the wall. Anyway, you are now currently listening to City Pop playlist, City Pop instrumental, cozy laundromat, retro City Pop, synth pop music. My YouTube user is City Pop Girl. Links always be in the description of the VOD. We have this space. Because we already have the villagers here, I'm thinking we start setting it up here and we just move them up across the minecarts into the specific slots they need to be in. And that'll make our lives a bit easier. We can have this wall be... Because the thing is, these guys are going to look at each other's job blocks and get distracted. So I can't have them out in the open. I have to put them in an enclosed space. And it'll be like a big tunnel. And I'm already deciding the job blocks over there, so they won't be able to stare here. So we could have them facing each other. So we have this block be the outer wall. This is where the villager stands. Job block, 3 wide path, job block, villager wall. And how long do we want this to extend? Okay. We could put a floor level with this. We could put a floor level with this, but then we'd have to add more blocks here. So it's like which do we prefer kind of a situation? Hmm. Okay, so let's say, for instance, we have our 2 villagers. Now, we're probably not going to block off this range, but we do need to keep it blocked off for now, because we're going to extend the villagers in this direction. But we're probably going to keep it, the entrance here then, so we can, like, curve them in through this way. So this will be definitely the start. Like, definitively. So then... We'll have our first villager here, and then we'll separate them like this. Now, we technically don't need these corners, we can save resources on them, but also mobs like to punch each other through the blocks, so this ensures that the only way they can do that is if they actually get inside the building itself. Now, an idea would be to alternate them, so that like this would be a gap and then this would be a wall. But it's not really necessary, is it? Because again, we're already deciding their workstations prior. Hey, man. Hey, man. You gotta work with me here, buddy. So these are gonna be our cells. Because they're prisoners. Naturally, of course. Alright, come over here. Okay. And these actually need to be a block higher. Because villagers are a little bit taller than 2 blocks, I believe. If you look at the hitboxes. Because I know zombies are exactly 2 block hitboxes. Yeah. So, let's say for instance we're to get this guy out of here. And then grab... Oh my inventory, Jesus. You'll go in miscellaneous, which is here. It's here. I remember things. And then stone is here. Look at that. Look, I'm learning. And then wood is here. Think about this way, this way, this way, this way. Plant life is here. No. Yeah, it's there. This is food. This actually goes here. You are once again miscellaneous, which is here. Colors. Sand is here. No, wrong. It's here. Get food. Go away. Alright, now my inventory is clear. I'm gonna grab all the spruce I have. Yeah. Boom. That should be all of it. Wonderful. I want trapdoors, though. I do want these trapdoors. That stops them from escaping. Because of the hitboxes. Oh, the rails. I meant to grab rails. Those should be my redstone box, because they can work in tandem with powered rails, and detector rails, and the 4th type of rail. It does have an eye, doesn't it? Where's my crafting table? Activator! I knew it was a vowel at least. My redstone box is here. I don't have a lot of rails. I'll make more rails then. Boop, boop. And we're all fine and dandy to go. It's a very convenient staircase. I know it doesn't look like it. It feels fine to go down. I'm understanding visually. No. Let's get this guy in here. Yeah. The hitboxes. So let me... There we go. And this way, you put a trapdoor in front of his face. Bro is stuck. You stick that sucker in there. Bro is content. Awesome. You don't think there's a world outside? Go back in the box. I should have grabbed my signs. Silly me. Stupid H2, man. Come on. Now, I did say I wanted this side to be just librarians, so I'm going to move him over. Wow. There we go. Thank you. And then we can place this sucker. And you. Now, torches do produce light as an entity, and so they are a bit laggy, so we're going to replace these with glowstone at some point. Or sea lanterns if we ever get that guardian farm up and running. I'm not going to have this guy standing on top of ice. That is just a problem asking to happen. Hey, man. Now that I have Soak Touch, I can grab all this ice. I can start using them for things. Oh, it's so pleasant. And you get this. And you get this. And we can tear down this building. I think that's a good task to get done today. One of you goes here in case I need to craft anything. Hey, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna be honest, when I saw those videos from Vegan Japanology about Japanese food, I could really go for a bento box. I like them. There is... I am curious, because, again, like, Korea and Japan have a lot of similar things, not even just in architecture. If you go to a Korean restaurant, they have something that looks like sushi. It's not sushi. There is a difference in the way they're prepared, which makes it a different food. But it is the idea of rice and seaweed wrapped together with, you know, ingredients in between. Ingredients within, sorry. And similarly, they have a thing like a bento box as well in Korea. And so, like, I wonder why there's such, like, an overlap in, like, cuisine and architecture. Like, I understand proximity, but it's still curious to me. Because I would say they're different islands, you know? Like, I had to do a research paper for my art history class, and we had to choose, like, an art object that was related to art history. And specifically it was Asian art history, which was one of the courses. It was Survey of Asian Art, which is why I fell in love with the Muromachi period. Like, that's the reason I know so much about it. Which isn't a lot. Again, we had to gloss over Japan very quickly, because it is a survey of Asian art. But it's like... the idea of, like, a meal all in one plate appeals to me. It's like, oh, how do we make eating as convenient as possible? You eat rice here, you get some like an appetizer here, you eat your main meal here. Like it's all very well thought out. I like it. I know I said this place was going to be ugly, but like, God. Also, we are going to set up a conversion station. I'm probably not going to do that today. But we're going to set it up in front of the area so we can turn them into a villager that has a good job. Oh, actually, hold on. It looks like somebody's volunteered. Hey, zombie. Come here. Could you step in this real quick? Awesome. Now, if you just cooperate with me and go this way instead. Thank you. And so the plan is... There we go. Let's move this a bit. Boop, boop. Then we'll put a lever. Here. And so if we need them to go the other way, they can drive across this way. But basically the plan is have the villagers swing into this. For instance. Now you can only do this once now. You cannot convert them multiple times like in previous iterations. He has taken one of my rails. That's messed up. We're gonna move a brewing stand. Okay, I might have a brewing stand left. Yeah. Boop. Boop. Where is my brewing stand? Ah! I've fallen. I'm gonna need another... So, wrong way around. There we go. Blaze powder. Now we need spider eyes, which should be in our mob drops, which will be here. Awesome. We need our sugar, which we made a bunch of by accident, which should be in that chest down there. And we'll need brown mushrooms, so we're going to have to set up a brown mushroom farm. And the brown mushrooms will be in this chest. So we're just going to grab one for now. We're going to make a brown mushroom farm so we can do this repeatedly. But, you know. The products go in there? The products go... No, I'll put them in here. There you go. And we need gunpowder, which will be in here. So we're going to make one potion for now. We're going to want a reliable source of gunpowder. So we'll probably make a creeper farm, maybe. A very slow one. Or at least when you need AFK. Oh, the sugar. Hey. Leave one. What? What the? Like, permanently? Okay, Owen? Alright, Owen J. I'll just buy some more glass, because I'm going to need glass at some point in the future. That's not emeralds! Oi. Alright, we'll let that cook. Thank you. Gosh. Oh, they added stuff. Sorry. They keep crashing. I forgot to grab a golden apple. We have a farmer, but he doesn't have apple trades. Does he have apple trades? Doesn't. Right, we need another farmer for apple trades. But for now, we're gonna just grab... I'm so stupid. There we go. I think I died once going to the ocean monument. That's because I was trying to swim. And I forgot to go behind a block, and I just let myself take one too many shots, but the rest of it was calculated. What am I doing? Sorry, hold on. I need... apples, right. That's food. We have the golden apple right here. Alright, buddy. I think it's really funny when you give them a golden apple. It's like, every time you get close to them, they try to hurt you. So it's just like, grapple them. Just go... eat it! Hello? There we go. But I am nowhere near you. You gotta relax. I gotta convert this, though, to a rail. Powered rail. And then put another lever down. It'd be really funny if I had a lever in here. I do. Well, I'm gonna keep this for now. Because we want to move the farmer into this area now. Like this. You idiot. There you go. Perfect. And this way I can also bring them back in. I forgot to put that in my explanation earlier. So if I ever want to, like, get the ones who haven't been converted. For the rail will deter him from exiting. Show some iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a minecart. Where did all the mine... I had 3 of these. You were all in minecarts. Did I put them away? That one's in use. He was holding one of my minecarts. You evil, evil, evil man. No, he wasn't. Did you see that? I had a status effect. What the... What? Huh? Hey, man. I'd really like it if you... like, got in this. So I'm just gonna nudge you over there. Just in this minecart. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Move along. You. There you go. Give. Thank you. There we go. And then we can keep this in here. The next guy is going to go in here. So let's get a composter out here. Which would be... and this one. Let's go. Let's go. Now here's the deal. We're not going to be able to tell... because apples are later in their trades. Which is vaguely problematic. So we're just going to have to trade with a... You want to reset those trades, King? No, you don't. It is night type. Duly noted. Oh, you're. Oh, look at you. Hi, buddy. Look at this real quick. should probably look up. Which one's a guarantee? Because there are ones that guarantee apple trades. I'm stupid. He's not in here anymore. Apple Trade Villager. Upon leveling a farmer villager to apprentice level, they have a chance 50-50, they think, to offer apples as a trade. Okay. They have wheat and carrots, which is perfect for us, because we grow both of those. Gimme. Let's grab some wheat. It's not what I wanted. I thought if I shifted, it wouldn't do that. Come on, man. Let me have this. And a reset, perfect. I think if I place it on the wheat, it'll work. There we go. All of the harvest, none of the hassle. I would love this, actually. Thank you. Hey, buddy. What am I doing? Stupid. No. I thought I was like, oh, let me just grab some more emeralds for this guy. I was like, no. Hey. I do want mending again. What is going on with you, man? Pumpkins. I can do pumpkins. And he has the apple trade. He has the apple trade. Wonderful. All right. We can continue leveling up at some other date. Now I need one of these. Beep. Bop. Nope, not yet. There you go. And there you go. get this rail from? But look at that! Look how handy dandy this is. Thank you. Thank you. That. The rest of these don't have to go inside. We're gonna put this here. Here. Yeah, I think this is good. We're gonna convert you. Well, and I'm gonna convert this guy as well. Yeah, because these are just because I trade with him often, and so he's lowered his trades a little bit. But those aren't sale trades like this guy going from 22 to 16 and this guy going from 22 to 16. We want these guys to have the good ends. I am a silly goose. I have to grab some gold. Oh, do we need a renewable source of gold? Hello, thank you for the cod. Big fan of cod. Let's get our asses up here. We need gold. Gold, gold, gold. We do not have quite as many as I would like yet. So we probably do need to go out and mine some gold. Thankfully, we do have a nether portal. Oh, that's not... Let's make use of our new blast furnace. That's not it. Oh. Look at that. Wonderful. Oh, no, the gold, the gold, the gold. Crafting table. Apple. Yeah, so we probably have to go to the nether and grab some more gold ores. Now that we have silk touch, we can mine that, smelt them directly into a gold ore instead of having to deal with... having to deal with the... Fun fact, COD stands for... COD. On dirt bikes? Yeah, man. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Not this way. Other way. Thank you. Silly me. You'll get there eventually. I believe in you, buddy. Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy. No! There we go. Let that guy... Thank you all so much for watching. As I said, I'm going to kill these guys off camera. We set up the villager trading hall. We're going to probably make it a nicer... put a roof over it and stuff like that. We're going to expand it off into the iceberg. We're just going to get every librarian villager for all the enchanted books that we need. Actually, before we go... We only have dark oak signs, so we'll have to put some white dye on it. Luckily, we have tons of bone meal. We have one dark oak. Okay. Let's quickly make everything out of spruce then, for some thematic cohesion. Let's grab some sticks. And these are what we're going to be using to label our librarian villagers. Scratch my neck. Because I'm itchy. And then we're going to keep going. Bam. Bam. Now this guy is good because he has mending. His other enchants... No. So we're going to mention that he has lanterns, glasses... Lanterns and glass. Paper, lanterns, glass. We'll write that here. Paper, lanterns, glass. Every villager, I believe, has name tags if they're a librarian. So I don't think we have to mention that, but these like good traits to know they have. This guy has Silk Touch. We don't know anything else about them. They might get useful traits after that. Let's mark down on our enchanted book list. Silk Touch. Which should be in general enchantment, general tools. Silk Touch. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to finish this up off camera because it's just villagers and they're not as enchanting. Thank you so much for listening to my architecture talk. I have so much talking to do. I still haven't taught everything. I still haven't taught everything, guys. Guys, I've been speaking for 3 streams now about architecture. The 4th one wasn't. I didn't speak about it at all because we were just making farms. But I've done 4 streams. I mean, 4 streams total. 3 streams where I have a substantial amount of it dedicated just discussing art history. I teach. I am a teacher now. I'm gonna remove these. Save on resources. Yeah. So next stream, we'll either be doing one of 2 things. We'll either be going to the end because we're discussing doing that still, or we'll be doing more designing on our builds, and I'll be doing more education. Oh goodness gracious! I'm making you eat your vegetables. You guys have to learn. You gotta become more worldly. Gain an interest in something other than video games. I'm being a good influence by forcefully harming these guys and shoving golden apples down their throat. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.